Om Vakratunda Mahakaya Suryakoti Samaprabha Nirvignam Kuru Me Deva Sarvakaryeshu Sarvada. Om Shri Mahaganapataye Namaha. Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om Sadashiva Samarambham Shankaracharya Madhyamam Asmadacharya Padyantam Vande Guru Paramparam Asmad Gurubhyo Namaha. श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानामालयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पादं शङ्करं लोकशङ्करं शङ्करं शङ्कराचार्यं केशवं बादरायणं सूत्रभाष्यकृतौ वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः ईश्वरो गुरुरात्मेति मूर्तिभेदविभागिने व्योमवद्व्याप्तदेहाय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। ओम श्री मेधा दक्षिणामूर्ति स्वामिने नमः। ओम सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ओम शांति शांति शांति। हरि ओम श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः। हरि ओम सच्चिदानंद रूपाय कृष्णाय कृष्णकारिणे नमो वेदांत वेद्याय गुरवे बुद्धिसाक्षिणे कृष्णद्वैपायनं व्यासं सर्वलोकहिते रतं वेदाब्ज भास्करं वन्दे शमादिनिलयं मुनिं सहस्रमूर्तिः पुरुषोत्तमस्य सहस्रनेत्राननपादबाहोः सहस्रनाम्नां स्तवनं प्रशस्तं निरुच्यते जन्मजरादिशान्त्यै। Namaste once again everyone. Skandadharo dhuryo varado vayuvahanah Vasudevo brihadbhanuhu Adideva Purandarah. So this is the sloka, the meaning of which we are seeing. And in the last class, I think we completed the meaning up to Brihadbhanuhu. So Ishvara, Bhagavan, is the one who through the countless suns, each star is a sun and stars are countless. Countless suns energizes this entire universe. So that is why it's called Brihadbhanuhu. The biggest star, biggest sun. Bhanuhu means sun. Okay. Now we'll see the next nama. Adi Devaha. Again, the meaning is derived from the previous only, connected to that. Adi Devaha means the effulgent being. And Adi brings in the meaning of the cause of everything. So Adi Devaha is the effulgent being and the cause of everything. Adi Shankara says, Adihi Karanam Sa Chasau Devascha iti Adi Devaha. Danadi Gunavan va Dhyotanadi Gunavan va Adi Devaha. So two different sets of meanings he takes. So as I said, Adi means cause. And the cause is always at the beginning. Isn't it? Cause precedes the effect. So the one who is effulgent is a Deva. Div Dhatu. Div Dhyotane, I think. So being self-effulgent, self-evident, and also all-knowing, and being the cause of everything in this universe, he is called Adi Deva. So while Maya is the Upadana Karana, the material cause, Ishvara in his Swarupa form, in his Swarupa, is the Nimitta Karana, the efficient cause of this entire Jagat. He is also the cause of all the Devas also, all the powers which are there. So he is Adi Deva. Then Danadi Gunavan Va Dhyotanadi Gunavan Va. Dhyotanadi Gunavan means who is self-effulgent. Danadi Gunavan means the one who is got such a large heart that he is, say, blessing everybody, blessing everything is his very nature. So that way also, he is Adi Devaha, the cause of everything. Without him, nothing will exist. That is the meaning. Then Purandaraha. Purandaraha means the destroyer of cities. Surashatrunam Puranam Dharanat Purandaraha. According to the Puranas, Indra is called a Purandara, the destroyer of cities of the enemies of Devas. And it is Bhagavan alone who is in the form of Indra, and therefore he is Purandara. And when we talk of the Puras are the worlds which are above and below, 7 above, 7 below. And also, of course, in the middle, we count the earth, Bhuloka. And also, we can relate it to the 3 periods of time, past, present, and future, Kala and Desha also. So, it's a multi-dimension, all the worlds up and down, and also all directions and all space occupied and all times, that past, present, and future, everything, all this will come under the definition of Pura. So the Lord who withdraws all these 3, that is all the worlds, Kala, and also the Desha, space, unto himself at the time of resolution or Pralaya is called Purandaraha. And it is the grace of Bhagavan that is able to destroy all regions of confusion in our mind. We can be called Pura. These Puras, these regions of confusion are born out of sheer ignorance. And other Puras like Gandharva Nagaras, that is imagined cities in the clouds, they are born of delusion. So the samsari goes through various lokas, and lokas means what? Various states of experiences. And it is the grace of Bhagavan that gives the knowledge, which in turn burns up all these puras, all these cities. Or we can take it from another angle also, the 3 shariras. Stula, Sukshma, and Karana shariras that a jiva has, they are the 3 puras. By giving us self-knowledge, Bhagavan helps to destroy them. Destroy in the sense that understand their real nature and go past beyond Stula, Sura, Sukshma, and Karana sharira towards and then attain liberation or moksha. So that is why also that we can understand this Nama Purandara. So from various angles, we can understand this Purandara. So now next sloka. Ashokastara nastara shura shaurir janeshwara Anukula Shatha Vartaf Padmi Padmani Bhekshana. So this sloka has got 10 namas. Ashoka hai, Tarana hai, Tara hai, Shura hai, Shaurihi, Janeshwara hai, Anukula hai, Shatavarta hai, Padmi, Padmani Bhekshana hai. 10 namas are there. Ashoka hai. Shoka means sorrow, as we all know. Ashoka means the one who is free from sorrow. And also what follows sorrow. Shoka, moha, all those things. So Shokadi Shad Urmi Varjita hai Ashoka hai. Shokadi Shad Urmi. So here the word Shoka stands not only for sorrow on its own, but also the sixfold afflictions, which are called what? Shoka and Moha, sorrow and confusion or delusion, which afflict the mind. Ashanaya and Pipasa, hunger and thirst that afflict the pranas. Jara and Marana, aging and death that afflict the physical body. These are called the Shad Urmis, which a Jiva cannot escape. Jiva cannot escape sorrow and the delusion which follows a sorrow. Jiva cannot escape hunger and thirst. At the same time, a Jiva cannot escape old age and death. These are all given. Nobody can change these things. So Bhagavan is Ashoka. He is free from this sorrow. That means what? He is free from all these sixfold afflictions. Bhagavan is free from sorrow, so from hunger and thirst. But still we give all prasadam and all that we give to Bhagavan. Isn't it? Offer it to him. We offer it to Bhagavan. Eventually, we make only those prasadas which we like and offer it to Bhagavan, and then we eat it ourselves. Bhagavan doesn't require all these things at all. He is free from hunger, free from thirst. But the offering has got a bhava behind it. The bhava is that Bhagavan, whatever I am going to eat, whatever I am going to consume, whatever action I do, I offer that action to you. And the fruits of action also, I take it as your prasada. So this offering of this prasada, or what we call the Naivedhyam, or in Hindi they call the Chadava, is nothing but an expression of a karma yoga attitude. That is how we have to understand this. Otherwise, there are people asking, Bhagavan is not, has he asked you to make all these things? Bhagavan never asks for anything. He doesn't need anything. He is a Purnam. He is complete in all respects. Why would he ask? It is for us to show our bhava to Bhagavan. You see, I am pursuing karma yoga by offering this to you. This is the karma. This is the prasada I made. And this entire thing I am offering to you. And whatever comes back, I will take it as with prasada buddhi. And that is the significance of offering that prasada to Bhagavan after every puja. Well, let us come back to the sorrow, subject of sorrow. So when someone is in sorrow, others come to console that person. So therefore, all of us need and live with a support system. And that is how we manage the sorrow, isn't it? Everybody shares their sorrow, and that is how the sorrow is managed. Shared grief is less hurting. That's why they say, if you are very sorrow, depressed, go and talk to people. Go and tell them, pour your heart out. It will give you a lot of relief. But many times what happens is, when we want to share our grief, we find that the other person has his own or her own set of griefs. Or our own grief, sharing with that person, that actually compounds his grief, his or her grief, and both of them become more sad. But if we tell all our sorrows and troubles to Bhagavan, If one cries and tells his or her sorrow to Bhagavan, will not Bhagavan pick up the grief of everyone? If he picks up the grief of everyone, then he would be the saddest person, isn't it? Because a person who wants to help drowning people out of water, he should not drown along with the other people. He should be able to keep floating. So too, Bhagavan should be kutastha, unaffected, asanga, untouched by the grief of all those people who pour out their grief to Bhagavan. Since grief cannot touch him, he is Ashoka. If he is Ashoka, only then he is Bhagavan, isn't it? And all these afflictions, confusion, sorrow are all caused to a jiva by ignorance. And what the Upanishads say is that it is not only that Bhagavan is Ashoka, but you, the jiva, is also essentially, you are Ashoka, free from grief. Because our Atma and Bhagavan's Atma, there is no difference. It is one and the same. But because of our ignorance, we fail to recognize our true nature as Ashoka, and we think that only Bhagavan is Ashoka. So this is the meaning of Ashoka. Then the next nama is Taranaha. Taranaha, the one who helps to cross samsara. Samsara sagarat tarayati iti Taranaha. So Ishvara is called Tarana because he is the one who helps us cross the ocean of samsara. And how do we cross that ocean? It is by knowledge alone that one crosses the samsara ocean. Because the entire notion of samsara is born of self-ignorance. So Bhagavan blesses us by providing us with whatever is necessary to gain that knowledge in the form of a shastra, guru, etc. And also the knowledge itself Bhagavan gives, because the entire Veda is given by Bhagavan only. To start with, he gave the entire Vedas and Upanishads, and then he makes them available to us through a guru. All this Bhagavan facilitates and then helps all of us to cross this ocean of samsara. That is why he is called Tarana. Tarayati. Causative niche takes Tarayati. Through that. The next nama is Taraha. So first was Tarana, now Taraha, the one who saves from the fear of samsara. One is who helps us to cross over the samsara, but before that he also is the one who saves us from the fear of samsara. Garbha janma jara mrityu lakshanat bhayat tarayati iti taraha, says Adi Shankara. So the jiva has to cross the river of samsara, and Bhagavad Gita students will recall this samsara is a river which has got crocodiles, sharks and whales, and which are all cause of fear. They are all the kinds of impediments and problems that a jiva faces. So it is not that the jiva can cross that ocean of samsara in just like that in one birth. He has to be born again and again and again and go through life, suffer jara, old age, and finally die only to be born again. And that's why in the Gita, in the Dhyana Slokas, we have seen Lord Keshava will help us cross all the obstacles if he choose him as the boatman. So the Dhyana Stokas of the Gita tell us how the Pandavas were able to cross the dangerous river of war with various personifications of adharma as obstacles. Only because Lord Keshava was their boatman. Bhishmadrona tata Jayadra Jala Gandhara Nilotpala Shalyagrahavati Kripena Vahani Karnena Vela Kula Ashwattama Vikarna Ghora Makara Duryodhana Vartini Sotirna Khalu Pandavai Rananadhi Kaivartaka Keshava. So Keshava is the Kaivartaka, boatman, who first of all saves us from the fear. Because in Bhagavad Gita, the impediments, the crocodiles talked about are all these Bhishma, Drona, Jayadra, then Shakuni. So all Kripacharya, all these people are talked of as crocodiles and all, who are all weighing upon the Pandavas' life. And it is Bhagavan Krishna as the charioteer, being on the side of the Pandavas, helped them to cross this river of this treacherous river of Mahabharata, and in a fearless manner, and then reach the other shore, other end of the shore. Okay. And there is one more meaning which Pujya Swamiji takes. Tara also refers to Om, the Pranava mantra, which is the name of Brahman. So it is said that the very chanting of the Tara mantra, Om, uplifts one and removes the fear of samsara. In the Sri Rudram, Lord Shiva is also called Tara, the one who guides us to moksha. This is the another meaning of Tara, Taraha, which Pujya Swamiji takes. The next nama is Shuraha. Shuraha, the source of all courage. Vikramanat Shuraha. So the Lord is the source of all courage and therefore is called Shura. Even for a jiva, by surrendering to Ishvara, all courage will come to him. If one does not surrender to Ishvara, then one becomes a small person. Pujya Swamiji says it is something like a person who is married but unemployed. He gets a job in his father-in-law's company as a salesperson. So during the sale, he says, I am quoting this price, I can supply the machines, etc. Here, the I is not his I, but it is the I of the company, the I which he uses. So the small I has been surrendered to the company. Similarly, whenever we surrender ourselves to Bhagavan and we use the word I can do this, I am capable of doing this. What we should understand that our expression means is Bhagavan can do this, Bhagavan can make this happen, and through me he will make that happen. Therefore, we have to understand that courage cannot be got retaining the ego. Only when we surrender the ego can courage be got from Ishvara. And one needs courage and the capacity to face challenges. And when the challenges come, one needs to be ready to face it fearlessly. And there is no fear in Ishvara, and therefore he is called Shura. He is the source of courage, and we can get our courage only by surrendering to Ishvara. Then Shaurihi. Shaurihi means the descendant of Shura. Shurasya apatyam Vasudevasya sutah Shaurihi. See how brilliant Adi Shankara is. Because the word Shaurihi can also be taken to mean courage. Shurasya bhava Shaurihi. Just add one pratyaya shanj, it becomes taddita. Shaurihi. But Adi Shankara knows that if he does that, then two namas, one after each other, will have the same meaning. That will be a dosham so far as scriptures are concerned. So for Shaurihi, he comes up with another meaning. Shurasya apatyam Vasudevasya sutah Shaurihi. So Shaurihi is another name for Krishna. In his incarnation of Sri Krishna, Bhagavan is born to Vasudeva, who was the son of Shura, who belongs to the who also belongs to the clan of the Shuras. Therefore, Lord Krishna is called Shaurihi. So here the Nama Shauri refers to Lord Krishna. Okay, so next Nama is Janeshwaraha, the Lord of all beings. Jananam, Jantunam, Ishwaraha, Janeshwaraha. The Lord is the cause of all the Janas, that is people, to be born according to their karma in different places with different parentage. As we have seen again and again, the Lord is the cause of anything that is born. Even after birth, he keeps giving the karma phala. All our karma phalas ticks off when we are born, but they keep on coming in installment throughout our life. And that is what gives us pleasant moments and unpleasant moments, happiness and sorrow. And looking at many people, the experience of many people, it appears that all the difficult karma phalas or the karma phalas which are potential to give grief and sorrow, they all come at the later stage of life. Isn't it? Anyhow, that's an aside remark I made. So he is the Lord of all being, therefore he is Janeshwara. Jananam Ishwaraha. Jantunam Ishwaraha. The next Nama is Anukulaha. Anukulaha means what? The one who is favorable to all. Atmatvena hi sarvesham anukulaha. Nahi swasmin pratikulyam swayam acharati. Because everyone does what is favorable to oneself, isn't it? No one does anything which is unfavorable to oneself. And Bhagavan is Anukula, favorable to all, because he is the self of all. He does not stand against anybody because he is essentially the self and also the one who is in the form of this entire Jagat. He sustains every thought and also sustains every will. The will, the free will that we enjoy is given to us by Bhagavan only. It is his blessing only. If one surrenders to him by surrendering our free will, he is much more anukula, much more favorable. And he does not stand against anybody, and so one does not have to fight with him. Anukula is the one who is a upakaraka, the one who does favors, who is favorable, and not apakaraka, unfavorable. So therefore he is always favorable, but when we resist him, we are not able to tap his anukulatvam, his favorable nature. This is the Dvaita aspect. We can bring in. We discussed about Advaita aspect, that Bhagavan is favorable because he is in all of us, and so we always do everything favorable to us. But from a Dvaita angle, we can say that we are surrendering to Bhagavan, and because of that, he will become more anukula to us. So that is from both angles we can understand this nama anukula. Excuse me. The next nama is Shatavartaha. Shatavartaha means the one who incarnates hundreds of times to do what? To protect dharma. Dharmatranaya shatam avartanani praturbhava asyeti shatavartaha. Nadi shate prana rupena vartate iti va. So Adi Shankara brings again another shade of meaning. So the Lord has incarnated hundreds of times in order to protect dharma, that we all know. Therefore, he is Shatavarta. In all different kalpas, he has taken countless avatars for protection of dharma. We should not be deluded by knowing only Dashavataras, thinking that they are the only 10 avatars of Bhagavan. They are just examples in this kalpa, what avatars Bhagavan has taken. Shvetavaraha kalpa. But in every kalpa, there are avatars and avatara Bhagavan takes, and these avatars can be all over the world at all times, in all generations. So therefore, there are countless avatars. We must also understand that all these avatars are not like Krishna avatara. Krishna avatara is said to be a Purna avatara, where the glory of the Lord is said to be expressed fully. But there are other avatars which are called Amshavataras, wherein there is only the expression of only one Amsha, one or two or few glories of the Lord for establishing something good, for establishing dharma. So even through the jiva rather, who does a good deed, who is charitable, who is helping everybody, Bhagavan expresses himself and does something good. In the tradition, sage Vyasa, Shankaracharya, and authors of stupendous works of the Brahma Sutra and Bhashya, they are all praised as avatars of the Lord Keshava and the Lord Shiva respectively. It is said that Vyasacharya was the avatara of Vishnu and Adi Shankara was the avatara of Lord Shiva. Why? Even if we don't take them as avatars, but Bhagavan has expressed himself as an avatara through them, making them the nimittam, and they have contributed to the welfare of the world, have contributed to the establishment of Sanatana Dharma in this world, in this entire universe. So that is the meaning of Shatavarta. And another meaning with Adi Shankara takes is that the human body is said to have hundreds of nadis. Nadis means what? Probably blood vessels, can we say? I don't know exactly nadi how it is translated.
Nerves.
Nerves, okay. Hundreds of nerves. And it is Ishvara who traverses through them in the form of prana. Through all these thousands, countless nadis, of course, may not be countless, but hundreds of nadis, and hence he is Shatavarta. That meaning also Adi Shankara takes. Next one is Padmi. Padmi is very simple. The one who has got Padma, lotus in his hand, is a Padmi. Padmam haste vidyate iti Padmi. So as I said, the one who has got Padma, the lotus in his hand, he is Padmi. Any image of Vishnu, Bhagavan Vishnu, we see always having a lotus in his hand. And that lotus signifies what? The 6 bhagas. I hope you all remember what are the 6 bhagas which we discussed right in the beginning of these classes. Aishwarya, Dharma, Yashas, Shri, Jnana and Vairagya. Aishwarya, overlordship. Dharma, of course, we know Dharma, righteousness. Yashas, glory. Shri, wealth. Jnana, knowledge, and Vairagya, dispassion. So Bhagavan has got all these 6 attributes. That is why he is called Bhagavan. 6 bhagas he has got, so that's why he is called Bhagavan. And these 6 bhagas are represented by the lotus, the Padma in his hand. That's why he is called Padmi. Then next is Padma Nibhekshanaha. Padma Nibhe Ikshane Drishau Asya Iti Padma Nibhekshanaha. The one who has eyes like lotus. Padmini Padma Nibhe Ikshane. This is basically for upasana, for meditation. The Lord is one whose ikshane, the eyes are Padma Nibha, like a lotus. Which means that like a lotus is very pleasing to see. Bhagavan's eyes are also very pleasing eyes. When Sri Krishna is visualized as an object of meditation, then his eyes are not fierce but pleasing. His eyes show grace and inspire peace within us when we meditate. So he is Padma Nibhekshana. So that completes that shloka. We'll go to the next shloka. Padmanabhora Vindakshaha Padma Garbha Sharira Bhrite Mahartir Ruddho Vriddhatma Mahaksho Garuda Dvajaha. So here again, 9 namas are there. Padmanabha hai, Aravindaksha hai, Padma Garbha hai, Sharira Bhrit, Mahardihi, Riddha, Riddhatma, Mahaksha, Garuda Dvaja. Again, the theme of Padma lotus is continuing. Padmanabha, the one in the center of lotus. Padmasya nabhav madhye karnikayam sthite iti Padmanabha. So in Vishnu Sahasranama, this Nama Padmanabha occurs 3 times. And all 3 times, Adi Shankara has interpreted that by using the benefit of the Sanskrit language. In the 48th Nama, of course, this is for people who have got some Sanskrit background. Others don't get worried. In the 48th Nama, he took Padmanabha as a Vyadhikarana Bahuvrihi compound. Padmam Nabhav Yasya. This is the compound. He split that Padmanabha as a Bahuvrihi compound. Then the second, in the 196th Nama, he took Padmanabha as Samanadikarana Bahuvrihi. That is Padmam Iva Nabhihi Yasya. And here, in the 346th Nama, he is taking it as an irregular compound. Padmasya Nabhav Sthitaha. If you look at it overall, all meanings are the same. But there is a difference in expression, and that lends little difference in the shades of meanings. And Adi Shankara brilliantly uses these techniques of the Sanskrit grammar to bring out these differences. In fact, when we have the knowledge of Sanskrit, especially very good in-depth knowledge of Sanskrit grammar, then all this bhashyam and all really become very enjoyable to read and understand. So Padmanabhav Madhye Karnikayam Sthitaha, the one who obtains in the navel, in the middle of the lotus, is Padmanabha. And we have seen the photos. Brahmaji is pictured as Kamalasanastha, who is sitting on the lotus, isn't it? And also in the Puranas, the earth is likened to a Padma, the lotus. And its Nabhi, which is the Meru Karnika, which is where Brahmaji is sitting. And it is Bhagavan alone who is manifest as Brahmaji. And we all know that the lotus flower occupies a very important place in our culture, both in literature and in religious rites. It reveals Parameshwara. The lotus, if we observe, is a flower that is born in slush. And it blooms only in sunlight. Even though it grows in slush, the lotus is always pure, and it has caught the imagination of the poets. Even science confirms this fact, that nothing can stick to the lotus petal, or for that matter, even the lotus leaf. And also in the Shastra, the heart is compared to the lotus. So the Lord resides in everyone's heart as one's Atma. Bhagavan Krishna says in the Gita, Ishvara sarva bhutanam hriddeshe arjuna tishtati. Hriddeshe, in the space within the heart. Ishvara tishtati, sarva bhutanam, of all beings. So because of that, he is called what? Padmanabha. All these meanings we can bring in this third explanation of Padmanabha. Next is Aravindaksha. Again, earlier we saw Padmanibhekshanaha. Here Aravindaksha, meaning wise same, but words are different. The one who is lotus-eyed is Aravindaksha. Aravinda sadrishe akshini asya iti Aravindaksha. Again, this is for upasana purposes, as Pujya Swamiji says. When you meditate upon the form of the Lord, you meditate upon him as having the eyes that are long and pleasing like the Aravinda. Aravinda is not lotus flower, but lotus petals is called Aravinda. So the avatara forms of Sri Rama, Sri Krishna, when we take up for meditation and in our visualization for the purpose of meditation, when we visualize the eyes of Bhagavan, we can visualize Aravinda, the lotus petal, because all his avatara, especially Rama, Krishna avatara, descriptions are there that they were all Aravindaksha, lotus, that their eyes were shaped like lotus petals and beautiful, very proportionate. Then again the theme of lotus continues, Padma Garbha, the one who is in the lotus of the heart. Just now we saw Padmasya Hridayakhyasya Garbha Madhye Upasyatvat Padma Garbha. Again another nama for Upasana. The Lord is to be meditated upon as obtaining in the middle of the Hridaya Padma, the lotus of the heart. And this type of meditation is talked about in Chandogya Upanishad. It is called Dharakasha Vidya. Upanishads, almost all Upanishads, or most of them I can say, contain knowledge, Jnana Kanda, and also meditation. Certain meditations are prescribed in the Upanishads for the purpose of gaining that knowledge. So Chandogya Upanishad has also got, prescribed certain meditations. So these two names, Padmanabha and Padma Garbha, are connected. He obtains in the middle of the lotus of the heart. But he is not recognized because he is Padma Garbha. The one who is within the closed lotus of the heart. And this lotus opens up only in the wake of knowledge. Therefore, unless the sun of knowledge is there, the lotus will not open and you will not be able to recognize him. The beautiful commentary of Pujya Swamiji. How he connects these things. Adi Shankara has not connected it. It's Pujya Swamiji's connection. So when the sun of knowledge rises in the firmament of the buddhi, then we will recognize Bhagavan within us. So the lotus of the buddhi is the upalabdhisthana, the place for recognizing Bhagavan. This is the meaning of Padma Garbha. Then Sharira Bhrit. The one who is the nourisher, who nourishes. Poshayan Anna Rupena Prana Rupena Va Sharirinam Sharirani Dharayati iti Sharira Bhrit. Swamayaya Sharirani Vibharti iti Sharira Bhrit. So Shankara explained this word very nicely. So once it is said that Bhagavan is in the heart, then immediately the conclusion is that Bhagavan is the Adheya, the contained, and the physical body with the heart is the Adhara, the container. Then what happens? Then the body would become the location for Bhagavan. But the fact is that everything is located in Bhagavan, including this physical body. Therefore, we need to understand this very clearly and carefully, that Bhagavan is seated in the lotus of the heart, only is said only to point out the Upalabdhi Sthana, the place where we can recognize Ishvara. Because recognition takes place only in the buddhi. And where the recognition takes place, there alone, non-recognition is also present. Confusion, ignorance is present in the buddhi alone, non-recognition. And it is in the buddhi alone, Bhagavan can be recognized also. So buddhi is the Upalabdhi Sthana for recognition of Bhagavan. So whatever enlightenment we talk about is enlightenment only for the buddhi. And this is the opening of the heart or rising of the sun. Therefore, when Siddhartha is called Buddha, what we have to understand, Siddhartha is a person, a jiva. He became Buddha because his buddhi opened up. He got enlightenment in his buddhi. His buddhi opened up because of the rise of the sun of knowledge. That is how we have to understand the name Buddha. So this is the meaning of Sharira Brit, one meaning of Sharira Brit. Now, there can be one misconception that may arise from the previous name. That is, when we say the Lord is obtaining in the heart, and the body with the heart is the sthana or the residence of the heart of Bhagavan, there could be a misconception that Lord is like a tenant who is accommodated in the body. And that misconception is removed by this Nama, Sharira Brit. He alone accommodates all the Shariras. In him alone, everything is contained. He alone sustains all of them, all beings he sustains Anna Rupena and Prana Rupena. The sustenance is in the form of food and air. Without food and air, not a single jiva can survive, including the coronavirus cannot survive. It requires both. That's why it goes on searching for food and air within the human bodies. Now, so he Sharira Brit also because Swamayaya Shariram Bhibarti, with his Maya Shakti, he takes up various bodies in various avatars. This is another meaning Adi Shankara gives for Sharira Brit. So, Sharira Brit, one meaning we saw was that Bhagavan obtains in the heart of every being. That is why he is Sharira Brit. Then the second meaning we saw that when we say that Bhagavan is obtaining in the heart, we should understand that he is obtaining. This expression means that he is obtaining as for recognition purposes in the heart. It is not that he is limited or restricted to the heart space in the heart. So this is what we have to understand. And the other one is in the form of food and air. He sustains this entire world, and also because of his Maya Shakti, he takes up various bodies, various avatars. For all these meanings, we can get this from this word Sharira Brit. Then Mahardihi. Mahati Riddhi, the one who has got countless glories. Mahati Riddhi Vibhutihi Asya iti Mahardihi. The word Riddhi means wealth, prosperity, glory. All these meanings are there for the word Riddhi. Parameshwara is one with Mahati Riddhi, countless glories, immeasurable wealth and prosperity. If you look at all the glories of Ishvara severally, it is countless. I mean, for example, when we look at any minister, say the railway minister, we see his glory extends to wherever the railways exist, isn't it? In that way, it is countless. But then that is an earned glory for the railway minister. But even then, if you look at it as one big glory, then it's a Mahati Riddhi. And suppose you say that the Lord is all power, all wealth, all prosperity, he is a Bhaga, he is the possessor of 6 Bhagas, then his glory is limitless. So from that perspective, we can understand he is Mahardihi, limitless glory, limitless wealth, limitless everything. Even limitless existence. He is Mahardihi. Then Riddaha. Riddaha means the one who has expanded in the form of the universe. Prapancha Rupena Vardhamanatvat Riddaha. So Bhagavan is Riddha or glorious, prosperous. These Riddhis, these glories and prosperity that Bhagavan has are not earned glories like ours. He is Riddha by nature. The entire Prapancha and whatever glories that we perceive in this Prapancha is Bhagavan's glory only. And he is also Riddha because he has expanded in the form of this entire universe. Vardhamanatvat, says Adishankar, expanded in the form of this universe. That way also we can take as he is Riddha. Then Vriddhatma, the one who is of full grown nature. Vriddhatma should not take as an old Atma, old age Atma. Vriddha Puratana Atma Yasyeti Vriddhatma. The word Vriddha is derived from the verbal root Vridd in the meaning of growth. It can indicate both spatial growth and also temporal growth. Ishvara is Vriddhatma, one of full-grown nature, because time-wise he is the oldest being. He is the cause of even Brahmaji and others. Space-wise also he is Vriddhatma, because with the help of Maya, he is Riddha. Just now we have seen, he has expanded as though to the maximum form in this entire universe. There is no further growth possible. Because any growth can happen only in time and space. As the very cause of time and space, there is no further growth possible for Ishvara. Therefore, Riddha and Vriddhatma, these two namas are connected. I think time is up. We will take the next nama in the next class. Okay. Mahakshaya we will take in the next class. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadhaya Purnameva Vasishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om. Thank you all very much.
Thank you, Guruji. Namaskaram.
Thank you, Guruji.
Namaskaram.
Thank you, Mama.
Guruji.
Thank you. Namaskaram.
Thank you, Guruji.
धन्यवादः गुरुजी।
धन्यवादः।
हरि ओम गुरुजी,
धन्यवादः
थैंक यू
महोदय।
गुरुजी।
Thank you very much,
धन्यवादः
Guruji.
महोदय।
Thank
Thank you
you.
गुरुजी। हरि ओम।
Thank you, Guruji. Acharya ji.
Thank you.
Namaskaram, Mama.
Namaskaram. Darka question, doubt?
Thank you गुरुजी।
Guruji,
Yes.
you mentioned firmament of buddhi. I've been seeing this firmament. What does it mean? Firmament.
See, firmament means the place, or you can say the existence of our buddhi. And when we are talking about heart, one thing we must understand, we talk about intellect. So the firmament of intellect means what? The area of that intellect. You can take it as firmament. Okay. Normally the word firmament refers to a geographical area, rather geographical place. But here firmament of the buddhi means where the location or the area occupied by the buddhi. Area of the buddhi. You can take it within the buddhi, like that. Yeah.
Thank you, Guruji.
Thank you.
And another one I had was again when you were explaining about Anukulaha, that he sustains thought and will. So, like this free, yeah,
Free will is given to us by whom?
by Bhagavan.
Whatever he creates, he sustains that also, isn't it?
So, like even the like supposedly adharmic acts and all that, how would
That is why adharmic acts are not done by the free will, but by the ego, which drives the free will to do adharmic acts. You must understand. Even though broadly we'll say what is free will, it is ego and all that, but there is a subtle difference. Ego, the I sense, the individuality. We use that free will given by Bhagavan, which can be used both ways, for dharmic activities as well as the adharmic activities. But because of our ego, many people, I know we means I'm not saying people who are here, many people use the free will as an instrument for doing adharmic activities. That is how we have to understand this. Even though everything is given by Bhagavan only, but there is he has only provided all the instruments for us to use them. Otherwise, he need not have created this world at all, isn't it? So, what happens is that this jiva, I mean, I'm still on the lower level of Vedanta, I'm not going to higher level. Jiva does lot of actions and collects karmas, punya papas. So the punya papas have to be exhausted for the jiva to avoid rebirth. How the jiva will exhaust? Bhagavan gives. He gives a ego. He gives a free will. Everything he gives, I'm giving you. It is just like these days we have the examination, no open book examinations, what they call. The test is given, but the students are also allowed to use the books, their textbooks, to write the answers. So what Bhagavan says, hey, listen, I know what your nature is. You are a jiva. You are an ignorant jiva. So you do lot of karmas and then you are gaining punya papas. Right? Now, your journey is towards moksha. That is the journey of all jivas. So in order to speed up that journey, I will give you a free will. So whenever you are doing any action as a karta, when you are assuming yourself as a doer, who is the doer? The ego is the doer. So the ego uses the free will to do various actions. So Bhagavan says that through these actions you are earning both punya and papa. Now what I want you to do, hey jiva, and that is why Bhagavan has given Bhagavad Gita, everything. Please refer to all these things and understand how you should use your ego, how you should use your free will, which is what I have given. But it is you to use them to get moksha. Bhagavan is not going to give moksha to anybody. Moksha, we have to strive for it ourselves. And he says, maximum I can do according to your karmas itself is, I have given you a human birth. In that human birth only you can pursue moksha. So I have given you everything that you have to use. Now, if you don't use it properly, don't come back and blame me. You only gave me all these things. It's just like a couple getting married, fighting with each other and blaming the parents that you got me married to this person. How the parents are responsible? When they got married, they are all very nice couple only, isn't it? All horoscope matching, everything, family matching, everything was fine. Now it is for you to lead a very happy married life. You can't blame parents and the Josian and the astrologer for matching the horoscopes and all. It's just like that. You can't blame the Bhagavan. He has given us whatever he can give, he has given us, including a human, beautiful, nice, wonderful human body, which itself is a miracle. We have to use it using our free will. Ego, we can use our ego to a limited extent because without ego, we can't do any action. But we must know to what extent we can use our ego and where we should reach a stage where we have to do away with the ego. We have to surrender that ego. We have to tell Bhagavan that no longer I am going to do anything. I am surrendering to you. You now guide my life. In the sense that what we are saying is, once my ego is gone, I no longer take myself to be a karta bhokta. That is what it means. I don't think I am the doer and I am the enjoyer. That is what is a Mahatma is all about. So a Jnani is the one who has actually disidentified himself from a karta and bhokta roles, which has happened because he has surrendered the ego to Bhagavan. You gave me this ego. I have used this ego to do all the sadhanas which I have to do for attaining moksha. Now I have gained all that because of the sadhanas. I have gained self-knowledge. So, hey Bhagavan, I am returning this ego to you. That is what is surrender. That is what we can call as prapanna. That is how we have to understand all these things. And when we are talking about Bhagavan, remember one thing. Bhagavan is not an entity we are talking about. We are not talking about Bhagavan with, Kiridam and all that. The cosmic order is Bhagavan. That we must always remember. It is the order which is pervading this entire universe, through which this entire universe is working. It is functioning, including our body, mind, sense complex is functioning. Is all Bhagavan's order. We call it Bhagavan's order, but the order is Bhagavan. That is what we have to understand. Whenever we say Bhagavan, our attention or focus should not be on trying to visualize some figure with a human body and all that, or for that matter, any body. So this is how we have to understand all these namas. Have I made it clear?
Yes.
Used you more.
I'm getting clarity now with that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. Hari Om. Yes, Hariji.
Hari Om.
Hari Om.
Guruji, can you explain what exactly is ahankara?
What exactly is?
Ahankara. Aham plus
Ahankara is what aham karta iti bhava hai ahankara. I am the doer. I am the doer. That bhava is ahankara. Understand? Or other words, we call it in English ego. That is what is ahankara. Does it help, this explanation?
Yeah.
So ahankara is nothing but taking ourselves to be the karta. When we understand that everything in this entire universe is given by Bhagavan within inverted commas, that the order works for itself. Where is the question of my doing anything? But we as illiterate or ignorant jivas, we have built up and give boost to this ego, and I am the doer. Krishna talks about it in the 18th chapter. There is nobody like me. All this, the jiva says, I am achiever. We never ever realize one fact, that whatever effort that we put in, that effort will fructify as per our wishes or as per our expectations only when it is supported by so many unseen forces which are there in the nature. If those forces do not support our effort will be fruitless. We never recognize this part of this. That is what is called daivam. A farmer recognizes this. That is why whenever he is sowing the seed, he will pray, Hey Bhagavan, I am sowing the seed. Please make sure that this grows into a good crop by giving rains at the right time, by protecting this against pests. But we people, we have become CEOs and I have become the CEO. I am so and so and so. That is where the problem comes. The ignorance led all dukkha, all this delusion, everything comes because of that only. So this ahankara is a main villain. Ahankara you use for proper purpose, that is for productive purposes, for helping people, for doing dharmic activities. That is a good ahankara. And that is why Bhagavan has given that ego, so that even though you can take yourself to be a karta, eventually you can surrender that ego to me after you use it. But we are misusing it. Many of us, not all of us, many of us misuse it. That is the problem.
Okay.
Okay, Ryu. Yes, any more question? No more questions. Shall I close the session then? Ryu? Or is there somebody is thinking, to be or not to be? Whether I should ask or not, like that. Is that so, Lataji? No, not today.
Sorry, Guruji.
Is that so? Are you in a dilemma whether I should ask or I should not ask?
I'm always in a dilemma. I'm always full of questions and I'm always in a dilemma. But both my questions were asked by Jayashriji and Hariji.
Okay.
And yes, about the aham and ahankara. I mean, is there a slight difference? Because aham is required. The I-ness is required for self-preservation. Only when I know I am different to fire, I protect myself. When that a feeling of I is important. But in the children, when that aham is not developed fully, they don't know how to protect themselves, and then they're so that aham and ahankara is always used in a negative way.
Yeah, that is because of our again ignorance. Because ahankara is as such, it's not a bad thing. Ahankara is required for our livelihood. But when we misuse that ahankara is what is a bad thing. See, human beings have got this beautiful thing. Anything that is given to us, we are capable of using it positively or using it negatively, isn't it? Everything. You can name anything, we can use it both ways. So where the ahankara gets a negative connotation is when this ahankara leads to hurting other people, leads to himsa, which leads to all this, shoka, moha, and all that kind of all the shadurmis that we talked about. Otherwise, I have to have ahankara for me to eat. I have to have ahankara to wake up after sleeping at night. That I sense is not wrong.
Misuse
So
the
we
eyesight.
must understand all these things, very subtle things rather. We have to understand the differences. So ahankara is what, as I said, what is the word ahankara is derivation is aham karta iti bhavaha ahankara. The feeling that I am the doer is ahankara. You are a doer. You are not that you are not a doer, but you are not a doer of everything. That we should understand.
How do you split the word ahankara? Aham
Aham
plus
kru dhatu. Kru dhatu, kara hai, it takes, I think, gai pratyaya or something becomes kara hai. Right? Kru means to do. Kara hai means doer. Aham kara hai means I am the doer. That is the meaning of the word, simple meaning of the word ahankara. Sanskrit derivation.
no, I'm not.
I'm telling you, aham means
Yeah.
kara means doer. So I am the doer, I am the only doer. That is where the problem comes. If you understand that I am the doer, till such time you will not have a problem. The problem comes when you understand it as I am the only doer.
Okay.
That is where the negative connotation comes rather. You are not recognizing the contribution of so many things in that. That's how we have to understand ahankara. But this ahankara also, when you get the jnanam, you will understand that even I was not the doer at all, even though I took myself to be the doer. It was the order of this entire universe which gave an appearance of being the doer rather. Because as we are seeing in Bhagavad Gita, this entire universe is mithya. Mithya means what? Appears to be existing because of borrowing its existence from the Satyam, but actually speaking, it does not have its own existence. So when something, including our body, mind, sense complex and all these things that we do, we achieve, they don't have any existence of their own, then what are we talking about? Doer, achiever, this, that and all. Next Bhagavad Gita class, I will be talking about all this.
Verse 16.
Yes.
Verse 16 of chapter 2.
We will talk. Nasato vidyate bhavaha, na bhavo vidyate satah. That we'll talk. That one sloka is a capsule sloka. It contains everything. Full Vedanta is there. In fact, Pujya Swamiji used to conduct 1 week lectures on that one sloka only. Of course, Pujya Swamiji, any sloka he takes, he will talk. He can capable of talking for a week. So, 7-8 hours he can talk. Similarly, even karmanyevadikaraste. In fact, that is how I basically got, attracted towards this. Pujya Swamiji came to Kuwait when I was there. And for 7 days, he spoke only on karmanyevadikaraste mahaphaleshu kadachi. I was totally impressed. I said, one sloka, which the word meaning wise in 2 minutes you can explain. But this sloka has got so much in it that Pujya Swamiji is going on explaining, all this we have to understand from that one sloka. I really got very impressed. And I was keen that I should learn more from Pujya Swamiji rather. So this is what happens in life, this is where your karmas also take you. Karmas, I am talking still as a jiva, take you there. So, this Nasato Vidyate Bhava is a fantastic sloka. Everything is covered. Everything is covered. So when we understand that all these things is mithya, then what ahankara we are talking about? What ego we are talking about? What body, mind, sense complex we are talking about? What punya papa we are talking about? All these are all appearances, but they don't have their own individual existence. That is what is meaning. We have to understand. Finally, we will understand. A Jnani understands this. That is why he is a Jnani. Since we don't understand this, and that is why we are surrounded by this, all the problems of the samsara. We are Ajnanis. We have to go towards Jnana. Slowly, slowly, slowly. That's what you have to gain.
I have one more. Is it there is a word called Brahmakara?
Brahmakara.
Like Ahankara.
I have not come across.
No?
Brahmakara could be, the word could be related to Brahmaji, not Brahman.
Okay. Okay.
So the world is Brahmakara, is created by Brahmaji. That can be possible. This entire universe.
Okay.
As per the Puranas, the world was Brahmaji was the one who is the creator of this world, right?
Okay.
So Bhagavan, Ishvara, and that is Brahman plus Maya combination, created Brahmaji first and delegated the task of creating this entire universe to Brahmaji. So that way, Brahmaji can be called a Brahmakara, the one who is the creator or the doer of this world.
Okay.
That way we
Okay.
can take them.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Hari Om. Anything more? Hari Om. Thank you very much. See you next Sunday.
धन्यवाद महोदय.
धन्यवादः.
Thank you, Guruji.
Thank you. Thank you.